Cory Sandhagen said it was going to be one-way traffic with Marlon Vera in the UFC on ESPN 43 headliner, and for the most part, he was correct. A brilliant performance from Sandhagen in San Antonio, pretty much dominating Vera for the majority of 5 rounds en route to a split decision win, one judge giving the fight to Cheeto, utterly perplexing. It was at least 4-1 for Sandhagen, in my opinion, a case to be made for 5-0 as well. Nevertheless, the right man did get his hand raised on this night, and now Sandhagen has back-to-back wins on his resume after a little bit of a rough patch there where he fell short in the number 1 contenders fight with TJ Dillashaw and then the interim title fight against Petr Yan. He really needed this one to really keep that momentum going forward as a true contender in this bantamweight division and show he can kind of get over the hump in these big moments, and I think he really asserted himself with this performance. The question is now what ultimately happens. He called out Merab Dvalishvili, something not many people are doing in his post-fight interview, and in a logical world, that makes a ton of sense and is the right fight to make, probably a title eliminator, but we once again run into the conundrum with Dvalishvili of he won't fight his teammate Aljamain Sterling for the belt, and are you going to risk killing another contender on the rise, Sandhagen, who just took all of Cheeto's momentum going into that fight and knocking him off the contender board? Obviously not an ideal situation for the UFC if Dvalishvili wins that fight and will not go on to fight Sterling. The question is, will Sterling hold the belt? After about 6 weeks from now, UFC 288, he will fight against Henry Cejudo. And I think the UFC bantamweight division is essentially going to be on pause in terms of booking the next fights until after we see what happens there. If Sterling defends the belt, I can't really imagine the world where they do Sandhagen against Dvalishvili, which is unfortunate for Cory because that is a very validating fight if he can win. But if Cejudo claims the belt, it really puts a fresh coat of paint on this division. And I think Sandhagen versus Dvalishvili is the right fight to make. And Cejudo probably fights Sean O'Malley in the interim, and then you have a contender right after that. So a lot has to shake out here, but I'm not imagining the UFC is going to be rushing to book Sandhagen in another fight until we see the title bout play out, and then we'll have a lot more clarity on this division going forward.